Hello, welcome again to our new episode of TiCast. Today we've got a good friend of us, Urwa. Hi, Urwa.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good, thank you.
So, would you introduce yourself probably to the...
Yeah, sure. Hello everyone, I'm Urwa and I'm doing my master's in media arts, and it's been a year I'm here in Germany.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, where do you come from? Where did you come from?
Yeah, so I'm from Pakistan. I did my bachelor's in media and communications, and then I was applying for different universities, and here I am now.
And why Germany? That's one question that probably you get a lot, is why did you decide for Germany out of all the other countries?
Yeah, actually, like I have heard this question a lot, but I think for students, the first thing that comes into the mind is the free education that Germany offers for all students, and then the environment. Like if you see sitting at your home and searching on just websites and talking about different universities, and you see that there are so many people who are applying, and then you really get a vibe of intercultural experience that you should be there and you should have a experience about it.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually so attractive to see how the university or student life in Germany, how diverse it is, and how many people from different sides of the world come here.
True.
So, how was your experience, like deciding to come here and also coming here for the first time?
If I talk about my very first experience, if I like reflect through my very first days, so it was kind of very nice. It was a very, I would say, liberal experience for me because I got to learn a lot. And then I had so many fellow students who were kind of in the same boat, I would say. We all were away from home, here studying alone, and doing everything on my own, so it was kind of a new experience for everyone as well. And then I met like lots of new people who are now really good friends of mine as well, so
That's great.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we also met since we work at TUtor International and organize events for international students, and you were, I think a friend actually recommended you and said this girl will help you with the event, which was
The cultural evening. Yeah,
about
true.
Pakistan.
True. Like I really remember that day when I met one of your friends, and then we talked about like how we can represent Pakistan into a big in front of like lots of people. So it was like really new for me as well to represent my country abroad, and it was also kind of very challenging as well because because then you have to really express that how about your culture, everything, people, their behaviors and everything. So it was like a great initiative, I would say, by Tutor International, and from there I got to meet so many new people, and it was great. Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually like I would say, being one of the team who organized that, we didn't do much compared to what you guys did actually, and how much things you prepared, and we were amazed actually by the event and how many people were there, the food, the story about Pakistan. It was just beautiful. You're also part of the Pakistani Association.
Yeah, it's called the Pakistan Student Association. So what we do is like if someone is coming from Pakistan, if he's new to Germany or she is new to Germany, we help them by like very basic things, I would say, by going to the airport, welcoming them, so like they really feel that they are welcomed in a new country, in a new place, because I can really imagine that how hard it is for one when they come to a very new environment, and it's so it's kind of nice. And then we arrange different activities for them, like for example a few games or some meetup sessions, and also, but it's great.
Yeah, it's great. As you mentioned, like these small things actually when you're abroad are not small anymore. Like if you, sometimes you just wanna like get a SIM card or something, and if you don't really get informed, you could be fooled, or you could just do the wrong thing, and it feels like these small things, or like being picked up from the airport you come to a new country where you don't know where to go, and you don't know the language probably that well. So it's really nice what you do. Actually, it's great. I find it always amazing that even people who experience the same thing or probably are in the same situation actually get together and help the new ones, because they know also how much that matters.
And sometimes, it's kind of really funny as well. Like, people are asking from where I can get the cooking oil, from where I can get this thing. So it's kind of, we have one platform where you can ask anything. Everyone is there to help you. So it's very nice. It's really cool.
Yeah. That's true. I sometimes, like, when I'm in the city, I'm like looking for a pen or something, and I don't know that much about pen, and I would like to have someone just to show me which pens like are actually more better and don't burn that fast. So even these small things, as you said, it would be nice if you have a platform or like some group who helps you through that. Sure. Let's jump back to your studying. You said you study media art?
Yeah, so actually my program is Intercultural Media and Cultural Work, International Media and Cultural Work, sorry. So it's amalgamation of international media and then the cultural studies as well. So it's I would say the structure of the program is really nice. You get to learn about new media technologies, how technology is nowadays a driver for different medias, and then you also learn about cultural things, how to overcome different intercultural barriers, I would say, because when you move to new country or a new place, it's kind of a honeymoon period for you in the start. And then you later realize after a few weeks that, the stress period has started now, because then you actually experience the real life.
You kind of wake up from the dream.
Yeah. So it's kind of a nightmare for everyone as well. But then all those courses, all the program, it teaches you, how to accept the reality, how to be strong, how to face all the challenges. So it's really cool.
That sounds interesting. So it sounds way better than the technical stuff we do actually in the university. But how is the program, like how is the studying or the university as a platform? I think you had also you came in Corona time?
I did came.
How was the experience?
If I talk about the very first semesters, it was kind of a little, you can say boring as well in the start, because everything was digital. You were not meeting new people, or some were just taking classes from their home countries. But slowly, hopefully, when things are getting better nowadays, so now everything is getting in person, and now you can actually see people out of the camera, you can feel their body, you can really look at them and talk to them and shake hands and hug them. So it's really cool. And talking about the program, it's nice, because if I talk about my program, it's all about media. So if you don't practice it practically, you cannot really learn the things. Like, you cannot sit at home and shoot a video or make a movie or something. You really need a whole team to be there to support you, to direct you with everything, with creative ideas and everything. So I think it's going really nice.
Yeah, that's true. We learned slowly about how important that thing is while shooting our podcast, because we had at first we had no idea how to do the thing, and we're just really improvising through the thing, which makes it a beautiful experience, I would say.
Yeah.
That's nice. Let's go to you've been talking about this honeymoon and needing of to adopt to or adapt to the new life, and we mentioned it in last episode when we talked about cultural shock and the four phases of it. How was it your experience with that?
I think it was a big transition for me as well, but it wasn't really I would say, because I made myself ready to come out from my comfort zone. I knew that if I'm going there, it won't be like I am already living my life. So I was somehow ready about it. About the cultural shock, I didn't feel it really. The people here are really nice. Yeah. In my experience, people were really nice to me. Everything. I met new new friends. And but I would say like the first month was kind of, a little haunted for me as well, because it was new place, new environment. I didn't know anyone. But then I would say hats off to TUtor International, because I remember I just was searching for different events if there is like anything happening between students, or there are some committees or something, and then I came across TUtor International and I went one of their hiking trips, and then I met new people there actually. And then from there it was a long chain. Now I have like so many friends that I couldn't sometimes
you don't get the time
time to meet them. Yeah, really.
That's true. Yeah. I think also the main philosophy of TUtor International is really to make it easier. Like, of course you cannot make it like painless, but just a little easier, and make this process of cultural shock like as fast as possible, to adapt, to get to know new people. And I think as soon as someone gets like a routine where they have like probably a side job and studying and then having friends, it just gets way easier, because your day is already planned before, so you know what to do. And I think for myself, like in my experience, it was the phase where my days were just empty, kind of like you don't have friends, you don't do much actually, so you get, and you don't know how to make friends, given my amazing personality. So it was like dealing with the whole thing, and took forever. I think you were lucky that you actually came and found some organization, but for me it was like I had to go through it slowly. But I'm glad, as you said, that someone is actually putting the energy to make it easier for people.
Yeah, true. And I think it depends on like individuals as well. Like you really need to break that ice, and you really need to get out from your safe environment and comfort zone, and you really need to go out. And I would say that it's one of the advice that I would give to the new international students that are coming or that are already here, that do go out, do meet people, don't hesitate, don't think that what the other person will think about you. Just say whatever you have to say, just tell them that your smile is nice, you look good today, your shirt is good, this color suits you. So this is how you really get into. I remember one of my friend, now one of the guy I met, so he's a very good friend of mine. So I was just passing through the street and he just said, "Hey, how are you?" I said, "Oh, I'm nice, I'm good." So he was like, "I like your perfume, what you're wearing." So I was like, "Oh, thank you." Like, you really noticed that, And then we just talked like at the corner of the street, and then we exchanged our social media, and now we are like good friends. So I think this is how you just, meet people and you just make friends.
I think also like what you said was really nice to think about, is being, before you came, you were already prepared. Like you knew you're gonna have to get out of your comfort zone. You're gonna have to face the new place, and actively approach the new life, kind of. Like, I think for me it was more like I was too young, so I came earlier, and I had no idea about what I'm like. I was even surprised that I got to actually come to Germany, and but like it's better probably to already be prepared mentally about, and if you really like approach it actively, things get easier fast. You said also when people when someone notices you, I think humans have in general like in common that we like to be noticed.
Yeah.
And we can, if we also like to be noticed, maybe it's also another step to notice other people.
Yeah, true.
And
true. Yeah. That's really true. And even like at universities, the professors, the staff, they really tells you to be included with everyone. And I remember one of the activities we performed for one of my courses, it was just like breaking the barrier. And I remember I had those sticky notes in my hand and I was walking down the street, and then I was just writing, whatever, for example, "You're beautiful, you're nice," and I was just passing it to people, and I told them that now you have to pass the same note to some other people. And in this way, it was like a great activity, I would say, as well. It was really refreshing for the mind as well. And this is how I also met like some, kind people as well. So
That's
yeah,
great.
it was really nice.
I don't know if I would do that. Probably too intro for that, but I think it's
know.
a very brave thing to do.
I was also hesitated at the beginning, but then I said, okay, now I need to do it,
Yeah.
It's just a note, like no one is going to come and hit
What could
your
happen?
yeah. What
Yeah,
worse
that's
can happen, And nothing happened. Like literally people appreciated, they were so happy.
I
And
would
maybe
love it. I myself would love to get a note or like a compliment on the street.
maybe I can give you at the
Let's
end.
do it
Yeah,
after
yeah.
No, but it's interesting because it's also like you. It's not like there are people who are not scared of that, not afraid, and there are people who are afraid. There are only people like who are ready to do it, although they
Yeah.
are like nervous, and people like me who say no, that's too much.
Yeah. And yeah, so like it's really nice, I would say. And
Okay, tell us about your routine like now, because probably when you came at first, things were very open, but now you kind of have a life, you have a routine. How would your normal day, including studying, would like now we're in a break, probably things are a little bit different, but how is your normal day looking in the study time?
so if I talk about like 1 year ago, what was my routine? I used to somehow make myself prepared that you need to get out from your place. You have to get out from your room and see the country, see the city, see the environment around you, because you're here now and you're going to live here. So what I used to do was that, because the main benefit for students here in Germany is that you get to travel a lot for free as well. So I just used to take the bus to anywhere and just go to their last stop and to last station, and just to see whole city and whole like the vibe and really feel that thing. So it was really helpful in exploring as well, and to see the rich culture here, the rich history here. So it was really nice. But then slowly, obviously, I needed to improvise my living here, because then I realized, no, I need to work as well. Yeah, and then I started applying for different jobs, and luckily I got one. And then again, the structure here, it's so well maintained that the students can like work up to 20 hours a week, which is like they can really balance their studies and job life as well. So I used to work like 2 or 3 days in a week, and rest of the days I used to study, and like 3 days of study, 2 days of work, and then the weekend with friends. So it was like really refreshing.
It sounds healthy.
Yeah. And till now, I would say that I follow the same routine. Like I know from Monday to Friday, I need to work, I need to be at home, or I need to be at, school and study. And then weekend is for enjoying and meeting friends. Yeah.
That sounds actually interesting.
Yeah.
But also what I wanted to talk about, right? The fact that we get Semsterticket, right?
Yeah.
That you get to travel to many places. I was last week in Marburg, and I found out that I could actually travel to that city for free.
Yeah.
And the city is so beautiful, and I've been here like for years and never really decided, but it's really nice that you would just take the bus and go to a station and just explore the area. I think that's a great way to actually like profit from the things you get actually as a student. And there are a lot, there are a lot of other advantages as a student, many things that are reduced to you, and many activity places that you can get for almost for free.
Yeah, true.
So
and
what would you sorry, you want to answer?
No.
What do you do in your free time, like beside meeting friends, or like when you meet friends, what activities are you
like I sometimes go to some park, like, when it's summertime, I just go, I just feel the sun, because you really need that sun in that small period of time. Or maybe sit by nearby a lake, read some book, hang out. I love skating, so I usually go for skating as well. Or maybe, just climbing a new mountain and, experiencing a new place with one of my friend. I just tell them, I'm going here, you want to join? So they are always ready. They just or maybe sometimes it's just like you just need to relax, maybe at home, sitting at home watching some series or movies. So
Yeah.
it's
So
kind
it's
of like
diverse.
that.
It's not
Yeah.
one thing.
Yeah.
That's great. How was talking about sunny days actually, especially today that it's so snowing and everything is white. How did it, like how was the weather actually in Pakistan, and how did you deal with this difference of weather? Because it kind of shapes kind of your activities through the day and your approach of the day.
Yeah, true. Actually, in Pakistan, I experienced all of the four seasons really well. Like the summers were a bit harsh, I would say.
Like too warm?
But yeah, too warm. But it was really nice, You could enjoy everything. You can have all the seasonal fruits and, all the food, because I'm a foodie, so I always talk about food as well. Yeah. So, and when I came to Germany, it was a little different, because the cold here I did not experience the same way, but then as the spring was arriving, everywhere you can see cherry blossoms, beautiful flowers, tulips, daffodils, and it was like it really gives you peace at your heart, at your mind, that you really get relaxed, just walking in some street and just looking at the environment you're in. So it really gives you sometimes you really feel at home.
Yeah.
And then the summers, I would say, like, I really love summers here. I enjoy what you can do is that, hang out, go for cycling with friends, go for some ice cream party or something like that. So it's great. Yeah,
that's true. I think also like after a long winter, when spring is coming, it's just so beautiful, because it's not only that the weather gets better, but also all the flowers around and all the blooms.
True.
It's just magic, and then it starts snowing and everything is gone, and you're like, why?
Yeah, true. And one thing, as you said about spring, so I just remembered that one thing I really enjoy now is also that the events that comes, like for example, one of my Iranian friends, they were celebrating Nowruz because they're starting of New Year. And then recently, today actually, one of my friend from India, they are celebrating their New Year, because in India now the spring is basically starting, so they have their. And then one of my friend, a month ago, they were celebrating their Chinese New Year. So it's really great, you get to really indulge yourself into so many events and so many cultural things that you really really love. You
I
really
think
love
that's
it.
also the advantage of living in an intercultural environment, is there are way more holidays, there are way more things to actually celebrate, and way more diversity in the food.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, way more food,
So talking about food, actually, how was the experience of changing? Because I feel like probably you don't have the same diet, like what you eat on a basic compared to what you were eating in Pakistan. And how was this change? How did it happen? Was it smooth? Did you struggle at first with finding the right things to eat?
I think it was kind of like, it was obviously changing in the start, but first, when I went for my first grocery shopping, the things I got, I think for months I used to get those things for
You
for
stuck
months.
to them.
Yeah, I was really stuck to them. And then I said no, like, I'm kind of getting bored now. I need to try new recipes or new things. And then again, I would say that especially when I had one of the courses, so it was called Intercultural Challenges, and what we did was, our final presentation was to represent our countries with food. So we had a international buffet, so where there was food from, like, maybe you can say 25 plus countries. So
I can imagine how much food was there.
Yeah.
Why was I not invited?
And we went on the hilltop, and there we did a picnic kind of a thing, and it was like really nice. And then when I tried different foods, so now I love Thai food. I love Chinese. I love Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I love the Indian cuisines as well. I love the food from my country as well. Then German food. So it's now diverse, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's hard to go back to stick to one thing when you see all the options you have in front of you.
True.
I think it was also for me the same experience. Like you try breakfast with someone and you're like, oh, I like this breakfast more than mine actually. Let's replace it.
Yeah, true.
Before we stop, I wanted to ask you like two questions. What is the most challenging thing that you experienced in Germany, and what is the most beautiful thing that happened in Germany? Like something that is challenging, not necessarily negative, but just where you felt like, oh, I have to I have to fix this, or I have to deal with this.
Yeah.
And what was the most beautiful where you were like, oh, I'm so glad I came here and I took this journey.
Okay, first I will talk about the most challenging thing. It was like when I came here, I knew now I'm here, and now I have to deal with everything on by myself, like on my own. So it was kind of hard as well, not sharing so many things back at home, because you know that you have parents there, they will get worried for you. You cannot share each and everything with them. Now you are growing up, you need to handle, things by yourself. So I think that was a little challenging part for me, because you
definitely
you come across daily incidents. Sometimes you don't like someone said something about you, but you need to absorb all those things within yourself. You don't have to show them on your face really. But yeah, and about the most, I would say, beautiful thing was that, again, I will repeat, meeting new people and developing my relation with them. It was really nice. It was really great, and I'm still looking forward to meet like new people and to have a good conversation with them, to learn about them. So
yeah, I think it's like that when we are like isolated from the other. We think, okay, it's gonna be hard. They have different culture. They believe in different things, but once we meet people, we realize we're all kind of like, as you said at first, we're all the same. We have the same situation. We're here trying to have a life, trying to build a career, make friendships, and that's what unites us is way more and way wider than what differentiates us from each other.
Yeah. Right, true that.
These were some wise words before we close. Well, Urwa, thanks a lot for coming, and thanks for accepting the invitation. It was really great talking to you. If you want to say one last word to the people who want to probably or think about coming, studying abroad or going abroad in general, and or people who are already here, just came and trying to build a life.
Thank you so much. First of all, would say a great thank you to you and your team, for inviting me. And one advice, one advice I would give to people, again, to new students as well: don't hesitate about anything. Be open, because it is one of the reason I'm sitting here today and talking about my experience, because I felt the same way in the start, but then I opened up myself. I went and met new people, and that is the reason, I'm recording a podcast today. Yeah. So
it's worked out. So just well.
Yeah, it worked out really well, I would say. Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot again, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching, and please, as they all say, subscribe and like and comment. Email us. I don't know. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.